Hello Libra, thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. Supportive oracle cards are Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen, and there's her last name. Alright, what do we have for Libra? Okay. This is like gonna go really well for you, but I'm gonna say it seems like it's a rough start, but it goes really, really well. When it starts going well, I feel like the whole it's the Four of Cups here. It's just about perception and how well it really is. You got a lot of good things the farther this goes. It's interesting to me that what this starts with is the World upside down and the Hanged Man upside down. Something is forced forward. A change is forced forward. It's how do I put this? I don't know if you're really surprised or shocked by it, but it's kind of like you're trying to realign things. Kind of like, I know it's going to change. I know we have to go into the next phase, but it shouldn't happen this way. It should happen this way. The way it's coming forward, the world is upside down because this change, the way it's happening, you don't feel like it's right. It's like it feels like it's not fair. It's not something that's supposed to happen this way. It's not working out the way you think it should. So, the Hanged Man reversed is kind of like, it's almost like you were trying to hold it in spot and kind of like, wait, let's just wait a second and let's put things in order. Let's let everybody come. Let's let everybody in the bus before we drive away. Let's let everybody get on board and put their seatbelt on before we drive away. And like half the people aren't on the bus yet and it's already started and they're starting to get ready to pull away and everybody has to rush to get on the bus and it's like everybody gets on, but it's like everything's in disarray. People are trying to put things where they're supposed to go. It's crazy. It's like you're like, this is not how this is supposed to work out, but it's being forced forward. That type of feeling. Okay. Weird energy around you. You're not happy with how this is changing, just to be fair. But you knew it was gonna. I get that too. You knew it was going to. You were just hoping it would happen in a better way. Okay, so you knew it was gonna happen. Okay. Now, this imbalance or injustice is not, it's just not a twist of fate. It's not just like, well, that's just how the ball bounces. It's not that. You got trickery, gossip, and you got grief in the environment. I'm getting like somebody was pushing the issue, like somebody pressed it and was trying to make something go their way. It didn't work out that way. Grief is telling me somebody failed at making a situation go to their advantage. They thought if they pushed it, if they forced it forward, if they made it happen faster, if they could push you off balance, they would get what they wanted. That's not how this played out. But there was gossip and trickery here is telling me it didn't have to happen the way it did. Somebody tried to manipulate it to make something go their way. It didn't work. They failed. In the sense of like they didn't get what they wanted out of it. They succeeded in forcing it forward, but they didn't get what they wanted out of it. Now, it may have went forward in a way you didn't want it to, but I'm noticing you're coming into this card next, the Six of Wands. This is success. The reason this is coming into success is because when this went out of balance or whatever, when this went crazy, and it was forced forward too soon. You know, the bus took off and they had to rush to get on and they're having to get everything together once they're on the bus. But once they're on the bus, people start sorting it out for themselves. And I feel like you help other people sort things out. Something missing, you help them find it. You're a very active part in the correcting the injustice. Whatever went wrong, you're helping it balance at this point. I have already said it anyway. You're very active in that. because you're helping other people sort out the discord, there's a lot of faith in you being created here. People seem to be looking to you for answers, not as if you have all the answers, but that you can help them find the answers. You can help them drill down and get the answers. Even if you don't have the answers, you know where to get them or what to do or how to find them. And that's where people are starting to look at you with this faith. Like, all right, let's go to the Libra. The Libra seems to be very, very, connected to a lot of different things. And they could probably help us do this, and they can help us do that, or help us find a way to do this, or help us find a way to do that. You're looked at with very positive energy. This is the first part of success. There's a lot of it here, by the way. Because I feel like, even though that was a bad moment that just kind of pushed things forward in a very unpleasant way, is what I'm getting. What I'm also getting is that it gave a lot. It gave you the opportunity to show how you shine, showed your best attributes, showed how you push things forward and how you look out for things and you drill things down and you figure out what's going on. Seems like that's something you're easily doing here. And it also gives people a reason to follow you and to look to you, for some direction. It seems to make things a lot easier for you as well. That attitude is going to stick around for a while. I don't see you pushing it or trying to make it happen. It's just kind of there. At this point, people are actively coming at you when that success comes in. People are actively coming to you for help. How do I do this? What do we need to do? Do you know anybody who could help us? Do you know anybody who might have answers? People are actively coming to you at that point. Later on, it just seems to be like rote routine. They have a question. They have a concern. They're like, well, the Libra had answers, or Libra knew where to direct me or showed me where to go to get these answers last time. That's going to be my first stop. My first stop is the Libra. The Libra seems to know what they're doing, or at least have an idea about what to do about it, where to go to find a way to do something. So it starts to become routine. People are just seeing you as this person. Because of that, a lot of information comes your way. A lot of possibilities, people, what they're deciding, people, what they're considering doing. You have that. You seem to be 3 steps ahead when it comes to knowledge. Before something happens, you know way ahead of time. Because people have been telling you what's going to happen. People have been telling you what they're going to do or what's going to happen next. And basically because they're looking for you for some extra support in making it happen, or extra help to make sure that it's a stable decision going forward. You're getting a lot of information ahead of time. A lot of information ahead of time. This makes your life a lot easier. Because the Ace of Swords, I feel the Ace of Swords coming towards you. When changes are going to happen, when things are going to go differently, or something might need to be revised, you know about it way before. And even if you don't have an active vote in the situation, you're not putting your vote in a ballot box because you don't have a vote to give, you're not allowed to in this situation, but your voice is being heard and you're helping other people see ins and outs of a situation. You'll be like, well, I understand you're going to vote this way, but this is what I'm seeing over here, and you might want to consider that over there. And you also find out who else is a part of the situation, who else actually has a vote. Even if you don't, who does? And maybe you need to get to know them a little bit more and explain to them what's happening. You're getting a lot of power here, but I'm getting it's kind of even if you're not actually casting the ballot, you know who is, and you know what's happening, and you can get the information out there way ahead of time to help, angle it in the correct direction. Okay, so the outcome is very good, but there's always going to be problems. I mean, that's reality, right? The abundance is in the environment. Instinct is what's happening. People are just instinctually coming to you, and you're getting so much abundance out of this. But whoever there's problem people here. There's people trying to point fingers. There's people trying to create issues. When you squelch something, when people realize that you had a hand in that, you become kind of a target. So keep an eye out for that. Instinct is telling me that other people, once they realize that you're ahead of the game and you know what's going to actually happen, other people might try to manipulate you and find out what you know so that they can make their own situation go forward. They can push their own agenda. Be aware of this. Just be careful not to get targeted. Like, I just don't feel like you can hide it enough that you know what's going on. I just feel like people are going to know. But be aware of the people are like the wolf in sheep's clothing. People who want to know what's going on. People who keep picking your brain. Oh, what did this person say? Or what did that person say? You just want to be very careful. Because there's some sly dogs in this situation. I say that as a person who likes dogs. Because you got the Ace of Cups coming. More and more good things are coming for you. The Four of Cups is telling me that there's going to be some attributes here of some people around you that are going to want to try to manipulate you and get their own agendas going. I don't feel like you can get away from it. It's going to be a factor. It's going to be a factor you have to deal with. I feel like you have to get a little bit better in the art of like bait and switch. I'm getting like this idea like trying to get people to go towards something else or to not ask questions down a certain line. Like you might want to try to stay out of certain situations. I don't know. They're trying to give you a heads up about people around you that there's definitely going to be people playing things back and forth, but it's like these are certain people that you still have to kind of appease still a little bit. Sometimes it's less is more. Maybe seeming like you're a little bit more busy than you are, so you can't talk to certain people too much, but still you want to stay in contact so you know what's going on. There's a lot of good here. Like, what do they want you to do with this is my question. Like, what do they want you to do with this? Certain people you want to listen more than talk. And you want to be very, very careful. When you notice certain people, like when you go into the listening mode and you're trying to get more out of them and they seem to shut down and go away, pay attention to that. That's like your heads up with this. Okay, this is helpful. So you want to make sure that like people, like they seem busy and they're like when you go into listening mode and they're like, oh, I'm busy, I gotta go. When you're in listening mode and they're not giving you that much, but they're trying to get information out of you, pay attention to that. Because you want to absorb at least equal, if not more, is what I'm getting here, for whatever that sounds like. If you're finding somebody who's like, they're trying to get information for you, but they really don't have much information for you. They want to get information from you, but they don't really have a lot of information for you. Red flag, watch out. Especially when they come towards you and they don't really have anything to say, they just want to know what you're thinking. Listen, find out what questions they're answering, and ask them questions back and see what they can tell you. If they can't tell you much, red flag. Just make sure that you're getting more out of these conversations than somebody's getting from you. I know that may sound imbalanced, but I feel like if you at least keep it even, all right, I understand that. But like, turn on the listening more. What do they have to give? What do they have to give to you for you to give them some information? Just be aware of people who they keep trying to keep you talking. You want to hear what they have to say. Absorb more. All right. It's either there or it's not, so I hope I said it right. Thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.